Welcome to Obsess AI. I'm so excited to have you guys here. This is episode one of the weekly leak. Here, I'm going to be bringing you one bottleneck or pain that we all go through in the AV industry, along with an AI solution. Hi, my name is Juan, and I've been in the AV industry for over 20 years. I started back in 2003 working for a company in Hermosa Beach, and I started as a pre-wire helper. And I worked my way up to become an installer, lead technician, programmer, project manager, and eventually I went ahead to open my own business. And I've been in the industry ever since, and I love it. I mean, technology is one of my major passions. And 2.5 years ago, I got my toes into the AI world, the crazy AI world, I should say. And well, there's no way back for me. I'm here. I'm trying to help as many AV integrators as possible. I see that we are very divided in the industry. I've been talking to a lot of AV integrators, and I can see some AV integrators bringing AI into every department in their businesses, small and large companies. And there are other integrators that are barely touching the surface, and others not even thinking about it. So if this is something that you want to learn more about, this is the right place for you. I'm going to be sending an email once a week. I need you to please subscribe to my newsletter. That's where we're going to be having the major conversations here. So my plan is one newsletter a week. I'm going to be sending the pain along with a solution. If you want to learn more beyond that, or you need help with anything else regarding AI in your business, please feel free to DM me. Here's my Instagram account, or you can go to my website. I'm going to include all of these URLs in the description below, but you can come to my website and just book a 30 minutes conversation. Okay, I'm happy to help with that. Okay, so something else. We have this vault for you guys. Basically, you can come here and download the skills that we're going to be talking about today and every week. You don't have to wait for the entire week. I'm going to be uploading more solutions. I can't promise it's going to be daily, but we're going to be adding every week. Okay, and any questions, well, this is where you can come to visit our YouTube episode every week. We're going to be talking about one a week, okay? So this week, we're starting with proposals. I think it's one of the conversations that most leaders have not very nice things to say. Where I feel like the frustration is the most for a lot of us. The way that my vault works is these are all playbooks, and each playbook is going to give you the skill, right? So you can just simply search, find the solution that you're looking for, download the skill, and you can go through and read all the details here that I'm providing, from what problem we are solving with this, what is it that you get with the skill, how does it work, gives you an example of what you get out of this, how to trigger it. Again, if you don't know how to install skills in Claude, please just ask, okay? If you're not using Claude and you're using ChatGPT or Gemini, you just need to come all the way down, get here where it says the core prompt, copy the prompt and install it as a skill. Well, in ChatGPT, they're called GPTs, and in Gemini, they're actually called gems. But you can create your own with this prompt, okay? So with all of this out of the way, let's talk about proposals. So for me in particular, it's one of the most frustrating things that I've seen in the industry. Not necessarily blaming a software or a process. It's just the entire way that we deliver the proposals. I think we can do better. And for me, in our world, in AV, speed is king. I mean, our high-end clients, they want answers right away when we provide tech support. Same thing with proposals. I mean, they don't want to wait a week or two to get the proposal back to them. In my experience, the way that I used to do this before AI, well, I would meet with a client. I would spend an hour or two doing the whole walkthrough in their house, understanding what is it that they want. And because I'm taking notes in my iPhone in the Notes app, I can't go too fast, right? I mean, I need to be keeping up. Back then, I was not even thinking about using something to like voice memos or similar. I was just typing notes. And from meeting with a client, an hour or two, my next step would be to put my notes together in a very good or nice format for me to share with my systems designer. System designer then, it will have questions about the proposal, because obviously my notes will not include everything. I can miss small details, right? But anyways, the system designer is going to have questions. It's going to get back to me. We're going to go back and forth a few times, unless that I go straight to meet with him and sit down and go over the proposal. But more time that I'm putting into this, right? So once my system designer puts the proposal together, then he needs to send it to me, review it, email back and forth. And the proposal is not going to get to the client in, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days. And that's if my systems designer doesn't have other proposals to build before this one, right? So for me, the perfect solution implementing AI to this bottleneck, it's recording the meeting. Instead of using notes, I use this device made by Plot. It's a small recording device that I just have on the back of my phone all the time. And it has an app on the phone. So what I do is I start the meeting. Even when I introduce myself with a client, I start recording right away. I ask the client for permission to record. And then I just go through the entire walkthrough. The tip here is that we need to be very detailed of everything that I'm saying. Room names, what the client wants in every room. If the client is telling me room by room what they want, make sure that I'm getting that on the recording, right? So my walkthroughs are faster now because it's just a conversation with a client. No wasting time taking notes after every room. And after the meeting, this is where the magic happens. So Plot has an app, and the app uses AI, right? So two cool things. If I'm taking notes with Plot, and I have the app open, the Plot app open, I can be taking pictures from the app as well. And that's going to timestamp the pictures to the conversation that I'm having. So if you're doing count for all dimmers and switches because they want a lighting control system, you're just taking pictures of the dimmers and switches and you saying which room you are or what lights that switch or dimmer is controlling. So now you have something that is synced in your notes. Very cool. So finish the conversation with a client, open my app, and then I just need to grab the transcript from that recording. Okay, that's gonna take a minute or two for the app to develop, depending on how long was the meeting. And like I said, this is where the magic happens. I'm gonna take the transcript from the meeting, I'm gonna bring it into AI, and then using this skill here, AI is gonna produce a scope of work for me. This scope of work I can then send to my system designer. And I'm doing this from walking from the house, walking into my car. By then I already have the audio transcript. I have the skill in my phone because I can access Cloud on my phone. And I'm running this skill. So I have the scope of work that I quickly send to my system designer. It also outputs a draft for an email that I can send to the client saying, nice meeting you today. This is what we discussed. Please check it out. To me, that's a very good first impression to the client. I mean, we're getting back to him instantly. Another step, or the step forward to take it to the next level, is to create a proposal from the same audio transcript, right? So let's see how this looks like. Like I mentioned, first step is to bring the transcript. So we're gonna go to Claude, and this is a big recommendation I have for you guys. If you're new to AI and you don't know about projects, that's something that you need to put attention to it. For AI to give you the results that you want or that you need, we need to train AI just like you would train a new employee in your company. That's it. If you open Claude or GPT or Gemini and start asking questions or start giving in a skill and asking to build a proposal for you, it's gonna give you something that is gonna be generic. You might like it, but ideally, the same way that you train an employee, we need to train this agent, right? So the very first step is to open a new project. If you don't know how to do that in Claude, it's very simple. You go here to the sidebar, go to projects, new project, and let's call this system designer. We're gonna call it number 3. I have multiple already created. And that's what we need for now. Here, what you need to do is we need to start providing context to our new employee. Our new employee's position is my systems designer, right? So now we need to provide context. And by that, I mean what products and services we do, our mission and vision in the company, how do we like to do things, our rules of how do we like the rack to be designed. Do you prefer to have like me personally, we prefer to have the network devices all the way on the top of the rack, the heavy UPS type of devices at the bottom, right? But if I don't give those instructions to my AI is not gonna know about that. So pro tip, I don't wanna go too deep on this, but you can open the project, start from zero, and then ask AI to interview you to produce all of these documents. So you gotta tell him, hey, I'm an AV company. I've been doing this for so and so long. This is the name of my company. Please interview me. I need you to learn all the rules for the different departments in my business. This particular, we're gonna talk about designing an AV system. I need you to understand how I like to design, and then you mention all your systems. Audio distribution system, video distribution systems, power, equipment racks, surveillance systems, networking systems. You mention all your systems, and then AI is going to start asking you questions. It's going to start learning about you. Yes, you're going to spend good 2, 3, or 4 hours into this, but this is another tip for you. There's a tool called Whisperflow encryption. And I'm going to include the link to their software in the description below. But that's the fastest way that you can communicate with AI. Basically, you install it in your computer, then you just talk through the microphone and say everything. So I'm going to give you a quick example here. Hi, my name is Juan, and I own an AV and automation company. We are located in Los Angeles, California. We've been doing this for 20 plus years. And I need you to interview me to create all the documents for the different areas of my company. Today, I want to talk about how I want you, my new employee, a system designer, I want you to learn everything about how we like to design our systems so you can do the next system design when I provide you with a audio transcript from a meeting with a client. I want you to create a scope of work as well as the design of the system and the proposal. But for you to deliver that to me, I need you to know everything about our company, how we like to do things in the company, what systems we use, what brands we do, and pricing. And that's it. So super easy to talk to AI this way. and it works great. Even with my accent, it picks pretty much all the words, and you just send it, and it's gonna start doing a interview. You can do this. You don't have to sit down and do the whole thing all at once. You can start and do it in your free times. Okay. This is just an external pro tip that I want to give you because imagine most of you do not have your Claude or ChatGPT set up the way that it's supposed to be. Okay. I'm going to let this run. Feel free to reach me if you want to know more about all of this. Okay. But just to give you an idea, start asking me by company name, legal entity, what percentage revenue you going to. Yeah, so it's going to ask you, I don't know, 100, 200 questions, but it's worth it. Trust me, once that you have your projects done, it's just amazing the results that you're going to get. So here is the one that I prepped for this meeting. And you can see I already have all the instructions of how I want or like to do things in my company. From, let's say, power conditioning rules. So this one is going to include what brands do I like, how do I want, what the rules are for when to use a 15 amp device versus a 20 amp device. Same thing with surveillance. What kind of cameras I want to use, if I prefer to use dome or bullet types, what brands do I use, audio distribution. Anyways, you go through every single system that you install in your company, right? You have to have this. So once you have this, then we go and use the skill that I was telling you about. So I'm gonna do my walkthrough to scope script. This is the skill that you can download from the Vault. Same skill that you will download here. And the next step is to just paste the transcript from the Plod app. This is the transcript from the meeting that I have with the client. And that's all what I need to do. Click send. Now it's reading the transcript, it's learning everything that happened in the meeting this morning. It's going to link all the information with how I like things to be designed because I have all the instructions already set in my knowledge base here. And it's going to give me the produce that I want every single time, right? And if he has questions, just like a human will, it's going to ask me if there's something that wasn't clear on the transcript or sometimes I can, typical example that I seen a few times is maybe when I'm walking the house, I name the same room in two different ways. So maybe I call it great room and living room. And AI is going to pick on that. So it's going to ask me, is it great room or living room? Or you didn't define what size TV in the master bedroom. Any questions that are unclear to the AI is going to come back to you and ask you. So that's very cool. To save some time, I already did this earlier today. So here's the results. I just want to show you very quick. Same thing that I'm just showing you in the other chat. So this is the script. This is my scope. Sorry, this is the skill. And this is the audio transcript from the meeting. And this is the result. So it's giving me a nice scope of work. This is something that I can send to my system designer, like I say, guys, from my car. So 10 minutes after the meeting, this is ready. It's going to go through everything, all the systems, anything that we discuss in the meeting. Okay? And then at the end, I'm getting client divided, drag, any red flags, something that AI didn't like according to my rules is going to flag it. So now I'm aware. I actually have the instructions here to what trades do I need to coordinate based on this design. If electrician is going to have to be involved, the alarm company, the contractor, shades, whatever it is. Notes to my system designer. Oh, sorry. You know what? The draft to the client, the email, is going to be here. Trace to coordinate. There it is. Email to the client. So here's the email draft. All I need to do is copy and paste it into my email and send it quick. Since there is no numbers in here, I mean, it's a great habit to start reviewing everything the AI does, because yes, it is true, it can make mistakes, it can hallucinate. You always want to review what AI is giving you. Okay, but honestly, the rate of mistakes, I mean, it's so minimum. I see very few mistakes that they do. Okay, so that's it. From transcript, we can get to the scope of work. That's easy. I mean, this is very, very fast, and the results are like, you can send this to, like I said, you can send this to your system designer, and you can just forget about it, right? You even have the notes. Oh, here was the email. I missed it earlier. Copy email with everything that we discussed. Okay, so that's number one. If you want to take it to the next level and create a whole proposal, same thing. You bring your audio transcript from the meeting, and now we're going to call the proposal builder skill and hit enter. It's going to ask me a few questions. It's going to ask me if this is a time and materials job or if it's a fixed price or a standard price. Why is asking me this? Well, I set that rule to ask me because obviously if it's a time and materials project, it's different how I'm going to build a project, right? What I like to do is provide the quote for the equipment, provide a quote for our rates, our per hour rates, and say, give an estimated amount of hours that the project is going to take. But if it's fixed price, well, we just go and provide, like we normally do, equipment and labor, right, all together. So for this particular example, I'm going to select fix. And then here's another pro tip. Whenever you're building proposals with AI, you want to make it easy. So having a tier system is going to help you avoid a lot of back and forth between you and your new agent, right? Because if you don't specify this, it's going to try to, I haven't figured out what is it that he prefers to use. If I provide 3 different lines of, let's say I have Wildbox and Surgex, the AI, if I don't specify what good, better, and best means, it's going to be mixing up. Sometimes it's going to use Surgex, sometimes it's going to use Wildbox. But if I say good, based on the tier system that I already preset, well, AI knows that if it's a good category, then I'm going to use Wildbox, I'm going to use Arachnis Network, I'm going to, so all these SnapAV products. But if it's a better or best, now I know I can use different brand systems, higher end brands. So pro tip for you, is next question is this an existing home, remodel, or new construction? Difference, principle, the most important difference between these three is if it's a new construction, now the agent knows that it needs to create a pre-wire design as well. If it's an existing home, well, he knows that the pre-wire is already done and that we need to include extra time for us to go and verify the existing wiring. So again, these are just rules for my company, but you can change those as you feel. Okay. And once that I answer those questions, it's going to go ahead, read the transcript, and come out with, here's another question: new client or existing client? Is the new client for the company. And let me show you. Here's the result. So same thing. We got the proposal, the transcript, the skill, and this is what we got. Entire design. Sorry, this is a demo, so I had to put everything on zeros, but I have the entire design. It's giving me all the systems, all the model numbers, pricing. From here, all what I need to do is ask in the chat here to produce a document. It can be a PDF, it can be what Claude AI calls it artifacts, which is something that's going to look like this, right? What I like to do, and you guys are more than welcome to do, is create a web app. So this is an example of a web app that I will send to a client, right? This is obviously just fictitious, but here is just one template. So this is for a time and materials job. I will include the equipment, labor estimate in hours only. I will not show the pricing, total pricing, because we don't know yet. It's just an estimated amount of hours, and then our rates. So if it's going to be some programming, the rate for that, then all the systems, everything included in each system. In this case, this is a Savam design. Notes to the client. This is what I like about using this versus PDF directly, right? Because we can add notes, we can have the client interacting. Like, let's say the Savan automation, we want to have options to add to the total here. Well, the client just needs to select this, and automatically it will add the cost to this number, right? So it's a dynamic proposal. From there, we go with notes, the contract, the client signs here, sends back to me, and we're done. Now, another pro tip, how we doing in time? 20 minutes. Let's wrap this up. But you will need, in order to get this level of detail, get the pricing done, obviously, we need to let AI know about my prices. So it needs to have access to the database. So you need to create a database with all your products, and super easy. Most vendors, at least the vendors that I work with, like Sonance and, most vendors like Sonance, they provide you with the price list, right? Via CSV file or Excel. So you can just import it to your database. 3 options for you. If you are a very small company, kind of like a 1 or 2 employee company, you can use Google Drive, Google Sheets to create your database. Claude will talk to it, very easy. You just need to create the connections here and go to enable it, and then log into your Google Drive. The next level is still free. It's to use Notion. It's great to manage small to medium-sized databases. And the third level is to use Supabase, which is like any other big database. You don't have a limit in there. I will recommend to do that. It's not free, but it's the best option to go. If you're just starting, you can start with Google Drive or Notion and then eventually move. And it's easy to move your databases across different platforms, so that wouldn't be a problem. And a reminder, if you need help setting any of these, please DM me or just simply book a free call with me for 30 minutes and we can discuss how I can help. Okay, well, thank you guys. I'm sorry I've been sweating. First YouTube video, I've been extremely nervous about this. I actually recorded a video earlier and it was the whole time that the screen was wrong. So anyways, Thank you. I really hope I can make a difference. I hope someone can learn one thing from this, and that would that will that will do it for me. Okay, so see you guys next week. Enjoy and stay obsessed.